recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice.
Hey, it's your girl Candy, and I am here with my girl Miss Kira, and we are going to talk about The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. 1992. Where's my other information? Starring a lot of people. So while I find my notes,
Not a lot of people.
Starring a lot of people. What are your thoughts on Hand That Rocks the Cradle, and when do you first remember watching it?
I watch all of these when I probably have no business watching them. So I think I rewatched a lot of stuff in college, being bored in the dorms and you ain't got nothing else. And you put a little not too oldie but goodie on. And this was one of them ones because we like, crazy chick flick.
Yes. And she's definitely the main character is definitely Cuckoo Cachoo. So it stars Annabelle Sayora played by Claire, who plays Claire Bartel. She is the wife of a OBGYN who does inappropriate things with his patients. And it's very
creepy,
cringe,
disgusting,
nerve-wracking, like we really.
And to your pregnant patients, nonetheless.
It took me back to my the first time when I had my first child. My son's. Let me see. Blah, blah. I had my first child at 18. So the doctor seems like his hand went up to his elbow.
Oh.
And his hand was back like
that. To make sure he got.
And I felt so uncomfortable.
Feeling the inside of you.
Listen. So I told my son's father, and I was like, he did this and he put it. So after that, he went to every doctor's appointment with me because he was like, no. What we're not gonna do, we're not gonna play those types of games. So I don't think he was doing anything inappropriate. It was just, it felt like it went to his elbow, okay? And he wasn't on his hand. He had regular length arms. It wasn't no Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. It was regular arms. And it felt like he went to his elbow, and I felt so uncomfortable. Have you ever felt uncomfortable at the doctor's office, Kira?
Yeah.
If you care to share.
We're gonna say no.
Okay.
It's nothing that comes to my mind. Anything when you're pregnant is a little suspect, child. Or when you get in your annual, when you're in there half naked and they just,
Yes.
And head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You're like, well, wait a minute.
Okay. So let's speak to the people
That's
in
why
the chat.
Switched to female GYNs because we used to have men for so long, and then I was like,
yes, and I prefer a female.
Yeah,
I prefer a female.
She ain't worry about it.
Yeah, I prefer. So guys, we are talking about The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. P. Bronson. Sorry, we're not talking about Fatal Attraction. That's next week, Bookie. But I appreciate you for being here, and welcome to Twisted Tuesdays. That's something I came up with because it's like everything is a twist. Everything is crazy, cuckoo cachoo or whatnot. She's always late. Thank you for coming through. She said she was in her early 20s and some things went over her head. Yes, I can understand that. Let's see. DeMarcus, what's going on? DeMarcus say, I remind him of T-Bar's child.
Okay. All right, T-Bar.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. It's the rivers. Oh, Lordy, yes. So, ladies, a good movie review is Indecent Proposal because the question is, would you do that? I don't think I've ever seen Indecent Proposal. If I have,
you probably did. You probably just don't remember it. Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yes. The old ones is kind of like,
Yeah, I don't remember. So, guys, I apologize. I didn't get to get my slides that way I wanted to, but we're gonna rig this thing, okay? And we're gonna switch some things up. Let me see. Boom shakalaka. But I don't want you way up there. I don't want us way up there. I want to, get us together, be right. But anywho, so we have the wife at the doctor's office with Dr. Mott. The wife's name is, what is her name?
I'm child. I just watched it too. Let me pull the thing up.
Claire.
Claire is the wife.
Yes, Claire. Claire is the wife. She is expecting her second child, so she has to go to the doctor, which is a second doctor, because the other doctor retired. He retired in the middle of her pregnancy. Go hello, like really? This is what sir, you're gonna retire in the middle of my pregnancy? Like you couldn't wait on me to have this child? Like what my husband need to do? How much he need to pay you? Because I need to finish
just a couple
your job.
months.
Like you started this, let's finish it.
Yeah, but you're not the only one. Then he got to stick in there for the rest of them too. Well, might be one behind you and one with. Candy said, "I'm special. You gonna wait till my date?"
Please.
And half the time, your doctor don't even deliver your baby. I mean,
Yeah, true. I'm trying to set us up right, but I don't know why it's not letting me straighten us out.
Because you got the thing on the screen. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I want us that way.
Ooh.
Nope.
Your sister telling your business.
Girl, what did she say?
She said you was running the streets, child.
I was running the streets?
Girl. That's what she said.
So, yeah, the doctor, he seemed creepy, in the beginning, and I'm like, okay, sir, what do we got going on? And the nurse tells him that he isolated Claire in the beginning, and I'm like, you dirty bastard, because he sent the nurse out, and she knew better than to do that. He sent her out to go give Miss Miller her results, and then he said, while you're there, go and do XYZ, which means give me more time with this new booty over here, okay? I got some breasts I need to feel on, and I got, a little coochie I need to, run my fingers through and see what's going, because that's exactly what he did.
He did. Like she wasn't going to be able to tell you to put that glove off. Ooh.
The way he was on them breasts, he was like, how's the weather? I'm like, yeah, no. He had the nerve to take the glove off during the examination.
That was
I was pissed. I'm like, yeah, you are a sick bastard. And she immediately felt like uneasy. She immediately got sick. It was like she had an asthma attack all of a sudden, and she couldn't compose herself because it was like, this man just like really
violate me.
Violate me. And she told her husband, and I was so glad he was on her side, because she was thinking maybe she overreacted. But he was like, no. And I appreciate him for that, for having her back, like, yeah, we need to handle this, whatever. So what are your thoughts, Kira, on how the husband, handled the situation?
Like you said, I appreciated how he handled it, because I was sitting here trying to like jog my memory from like when I was pregnant and I did have male doctors. I don't think there was no nurse in the room with me neither, but ain't none of that happened. But I did appreciate him, speaking up and saying that, they needed to do something about it, because it's never good at any time, but like that's the worst time to take advantage of somebody. Like, really? Well, I got this big belly trying to bring life into the world.
Yeah, that was very. Hey Mo, hey Nita Boo, hey Shayna. Yeah, Shayna said her doctor never delivered any of her kids.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
shut your mouth.
I think just the last one. My doctor delivered the first two. I don't think. Well, actually, the middle one I know for sure. His doctor delivered.
Okay.
And the first one, I think the doctor was like his weekend off, or I'm like, really?
Sir, bring your to work because I got a whole child that's about to
That man said he ain't got.
escape my body. I'm finna
He
evict
said I
this.
can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. Sorry.
Finna evict the baby. Like, yeah. So she does go home and let her husband know how she felt about the situation, and she was so violated, and I felt so bad for her. This child crazy. What'd she say? I was fired, damn it, from Bowles, but still coach basketball. So without insurance, I was on Medicaid when I became pregnant. Went to my same OBGYN, and they tried to send me away because I was on Medicaid.
Yeah, they will do that sometimes too. Mm-hmm. Now she showed out so much. She took her as a patient.
Anyway, okay.
Right.
And I know you, and I know you did, Gemini.
Hey, not too much. Still
Okay.
Gemini season. Hey.
So yeah. So the doctor. So Claire does. She puts in paperwork. I'm not sure exactly how she did what she did, but she put in paperwork for the doctor and for him to come forth or whatever. And she wasn't the only one. Come to find out, the man took.
I thought she wasn't she put in a complaint, but she didn't file charges, I guess.
Yeah, she put in a complaint, and the doctor ended up taking himself out. But mind you, he has a pregnant wife at home. But he took himself out, the easy way out, because he knew he was wrong. And I was mad that he took the easy way out, but I wasn't mad that he was gone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, yeah, you need to be out of here. I just hate, he did that. Of course, that's the easy way out that's what we think is the easy way out. Anyway, I'm trying to see if I had that other picture. I don't have it. Because this is the only way I can do it. So 6 months later, so Claire goes to Claire Bartell, which is the cuckoo cuckoo. She ends up going to she had to meet with a team of lawyers or whatever, and
Claire's the one that got whatever.
I'm sorry, not Claire.
Peyton, and I forgot. Peyton Martell. I can't remember.
Martell.
I can't remember what her actual right name was, but she was Peyton to them.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yes.
Them last names is close.
Yeah. So she was pregnant.
Oh, Mrs. Mott.
Yeah.
Dr. Mott.
And she ends up going to the lawyer's office and meeting with the team of lawyers. And she really wasn't going to get anything because he was being sued by these different people.
Mm-hmm.
Claire wasn't one of the people that was suing, but they flashed her picture on the screen before that. He was like, you can stay in the house until you have the baby, but he didn't really kick her out or whatever. I can't remember. I don't know exactly what happened, but she felt
something like that.
And she passed out or whatever, and she ended up miscarrying the baby. I guess had a stillborn or something, and then they had to do a DNC or a hysterectomy. So then she didn't have any more kids after that. So while she's in the hospital, she ends up seeing who put in a complaint on her husband. And it ended up being Claire. So Claire is taking her daughter putting the daughter on the bus, and Peyton stops the bus because Claire forgot to give the jacket to the child. And I said, why the damn bus stop like that? They're like, shh, just stopped after they pull off and just stop, right?
Man, you would have had to drive your behind up to the school. You playing around now. Ain't no bus stopping for no daggone jacket. You better stop playing. That daggone bus driver.
So what are your thoughts on how they met, the interaction, how everything just transpired between them, how it's like she was so perfect and so mild-mannered. She really won them over.
Anytime that comes, that's a setup, and it's some BS, and that's exactly when you need to do your research. Is when it's too good to be true, because you just showed up in the nick of time and everything was just, all the stars was just lining up. I didn't understand why, because I went back and rewatched it, why she targeted her just because she filed the complaint. If she never filed a lawsuit, it was nobody else you wanted to decide you want to go mess with, just her. Okay, cool.
Don't know. Was y'all fathers and husbands with y'all when y'all delivered y'all babies? Yes.
Well, except that middle one. That middle one said, coming out.
Oh, he came out, but
he wasn't supposed to come out then, but
Yes, DeMarcus. And my first
The
child's
bookends.
father, he acted a whole fool. We were young. He didn't know. He didn't know. He acted a whole plump fool. He was like, "That's come out of there." Yes.
Yeah. Usually how this works,
Came
sir.
out. uh, P. Bronson,
Right.
I could not believe she was. Oh, child, P. Bronson. She was diabolical. Okay.
Although
Yes.
they used to do that back in the day, but this wasn't that.
Yeah, this ain't that. But the way she infiltrated this family, like she walked in and took over this woman's whole entire house, her life,
Hmm.
her husband, and her children. And Claire just let her do it. And her husband, he's so oblivious to anything that's going on, he don't see the BS.
Claire
But
said
we
she
do
tired,
have,
girl. Claire said she tired. Come get this baby.
I forgot to mention Solomon.
Yeah.
Solomon is has a learning disability, but he's there to help around the house, to do things in the yard. He builds fences and whatever else they need, put a bird house up and whatnot. So he's there, but he got more sense than anybody, okay? Because
Yes,
Solomon was
Lord.
keeping the BS from hello, okay? I think he saw Peyton who she really was when he first saw her. I don't think he really
Mm-mm.
took
She
her
gave
to be a solid person, because he could feel this lady was,
bad vibes.
yeah, he could feel it. And yeah. Claire was a snowflake. She was easily intimidated. Jesus, she thought Ernie Hudson was dumb. He was not dumb. Listen, okay, don't play, don't play with Solomon. So she used a fake identity, which is Peyton, and she applies to be their nanny. She gets hired. And the infiltration begins. She's charming, competent, and she's gaining their trust like immediately. Kira, how are you, or how were you with your children, like with your first son? How were you with him, and then your second? Like, how did you, like, was your circle like this small? Excuse me, I'm missing a nail. Was your circle this small?
My circles has been that small. It continues to be that small. Okay. Children or no children. That first
Yeah.
one is just giving a little helicopter, is giving a little. Actually, I would say the first two, because the first one, because he was the first, you're overprotective, you're overbearing, you don't want nobody breathing on them, you looking up everything, you don't know what you're doing. So that was my first one. And then my second one was premature. So again, I don't want you breathing on, I want you breathing on them. Like, I was more confident as a parent, but not too much on my baby. So
But
yeah.
Claire left her baby with Peyton the first day, the first
First day,
session. She was
day
like,
one.
yeah, let me go see what Solomon wants. But the baby right here across from the master bedroom. I'm like,
Shut up.
yeah, no, come on
Pop
down.
that baby
Like,
on
you
my
can't even
shoulder.
be in my house like that. Like, yeah, no.
I'll be right back, girl. You can have a seat. Me and this baby gonna go see what Solomon talking about. Right, look, right
Okay,
here.
all of us going. Okay,
And a little
you too.
swaddle.
Come on, yeah, come on down. Bree Bronson, Solomon was missing intellectual. He had gained a sixth sense. Listen,
Yeah.
Solomon had plenty of sense. He
Right.
He really did. Let's see if I got this other picture after that, because she moves in quickly with this family. She doesn't play playing the game. She immediately starts to, because they invite
They
her over for
welcomed her
dinner.
in right away.
Yes, they invited her for dinner really quickly.
She was ready to hire her. She said, "You want to come to dinner tonight?"
Yes, 2 nights. So she, of course, they had dinner and end up, meeting the husband and whatnot, and meeting the daughter. But when they were getting ready to go out to dinner, Claire said, "I always feel sexy and glamorous when I wear this dress." And she's talking to Peyton about her outfit or whatnot, and she's, talking about things or whatever. She's like, "Are you gonna wear a jacket or a coat or whatever?" She was like, "No. What color shoes should I wear? Should I wear red or black?" And Peyton takes it upon herself to put perfume, stain her dress with perfume, which then Claire's like, "Oh yeah, I can't wear this."
I would have went out with that little perfume stain right there on the top. You just would have had to.
Because what I'm not gonna do is, I'm not taking this off. I'm not. And my husband think I feel sexy when I, And when she went downstairs, he was like, "Why didn't you wear the dress I bought you?" She was like, "Do I not look cute? Do I not look nice?" I'm like, Yeah, but no, because you was looking real
Giving
homely.
brunch, little brunch, little
She was giving brunch. She was
mother of the
giving
church.
Mayday, Kentucky Derby. It was just really homely. She was really
Yeah.
homely. Yeah, she was really homely from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I
She was
missed
about
it.
to be real cute in that red dress. See, this was another one of these movies that back in the day we had no cell phones. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
get to that part because some of this stuff could have been solved, but I wouldn't have left nothing around that lady. Like you said, not the baby, not my because why are you in the room while I'm getting dressed anyway? This don't got nothing to do with the baby. Like you my personal assistant too. Ma'am,
Mm-hmm.
go check on
Yeah,
the
no.
baby. You don't got somewhere to
Yeah.
be?
Please, expeditiously. Like go ahead now. Um, so I'm trying to get to the point where I just hate I don't have my slides like I want to.
Oh, it's all right.
It's gonna have
That's
to
when they
be.
went to dinner with the ex boo thing and her husband.
Girl. So she is at dinner with her. Well, the Bartels are at dinner with Michael's childhood girlfriend. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what age they were when they were dating or whatnot, but you could tell there was history and chemistry there from the way they interacted at the house and at the restaurant. Because he doesn't smoke cigarettes until he's around Marlene.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a gay old time when they're together, and they just you could tell the chemistry is like on 10, you know,
I
with
don't know.
them.
That lady had a whole husband though.
She did, but you could still tell to me, I could still tell the chemistry was there. Like you could tell that
It's
it
like
was there.
friendship though. It was giving
Maybe
you.
so, but it was a little too much for me.
I know that husband was looking at Peyton when he came in because she was
It
like, "What you?"
was.
She came out and was like, what you smiling for? Nothing." She's like, She got his number quick. Like, mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She,
Yeah, she did offer Peyton to wear her jewelry. She sure did.
yeah,
She was just too
nice for no
easy,
reason.
too nice to be friendly with a new person, a person that you just met. You know what I'm saying? Like it was too soon.
Yeah.
Soon. It was too soon. Yeah. And then when she interacted with Solomon, he felt something off with her in the beginning. Then
Mm-hmm.
they meet the daughter. They met her earlier, and she always likes to help. She's a daddy's girl. She was like, "I'm in charge of the salad dressing," and I was like, "Oh, she is just so
She was
sweet."
hyped. She was hyped up
Yes,
about that dressing,
yes,
baby.
yes. And I was in charge of the salad dressing. Um, let's see.
And she was also running her mouth because that's who told Peyton about, oh, yeah, because daddy used to date Auntie Marlene, baby.
Girl. And
Why
I
the little
said,
baby know that? You know
why
they're
is
going to
we
tell
telling
it.
business? Why we telling house business? Okay.
She should know no way. She probably, well, maybe she could have been ear hustling now, but I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
not you telling the business.
Yes.
To
So
Peyton.
this heifer wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning to put her boob in
Mm-hmm.
this baby's mouth.
Nurse little Joey. Joey was getting his little
Kira, what are your thoughts?
baby. Listen, nobody don't sleep light. Y'all got 2 kids. Don't nobody. I know she put the pillow over the thing, but nobody sleep night. She just creeping up the stairs in the middle of the night, just nursing your baby. Just Mm-mm.
She
No,
just
no, man.
did she pop it in the baby mouth like, and then she just took her time and she was massaging her boob
Yes.
while she was like, I'm not
Activating
just
the
getting
milk
this.
ducts.
Yes. I said, damn, you are really on your infiltration mode. You are really taking over this lady's family. Like you are really winning them over, and this baby innocent, he don't know no better. But
Yeah.
he ended up taking what's the little girl name? The little girl, she kind of won her over as well. And I'm like,
I
she's a
think
baby. She don't know no better.
her intention rewatching it was to harm the family.
Mm-hmm.
Just the whole entire family, in my opinion. But then when I
Mm-hmm.
was watching it again, and that lady at the park said, because remember, the husband had the same color eyes as Peyton, they had them like icy blue eyes. And
Mm-hmm.
that lady at the park said, oh, your son looks just like you. And she said, And he does.
She got excited. Okay.
This still look like his. I said, oh, now she done decided. I'll just take out the mama and take the daddy and the kids. I said, oh, crazy work.
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I'm trying to find this other picture.
It took her for a while though for him to stop taking he mama boob.
Yeah, and that hurt my feelings.
And then she took the baby to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Nah, the baby gaining weight." They should have known then, because if you're not giving the baby no bottle, and he not nursing, he not crying, like he got to be eating somewhere. I'd have been popping up doing rounds in the middle of the night. I'd have had to figure it out. I'd been walking in on that lady trying to figure out what was going on. I mean, you wouldn't assume somebody would be nursing your child, but how is the baby gaining weight? What is he eating then? Are you slipping him some cereal? What we did? What's going on? What is he eating? Why is he not hungry, but he gaining weight? Crazy.
Okay, so I can't find it, but while they're out at dinner later on, she and Peyton, the little girl was in the bed, and they were talking about having secrets, keeping secrets, and she was asking her if she, had secrets or whatever, and the little girl was like, yeah, this boy at school bothers me. He keeps messing with me or whatever. And she was like, what did you tell your mom? She said, yeah, but she couldn't do anything about it. So Claire takes it upon herself to go to that school and hem the little boy up on the wall.
Rough the little boy up.
Yeah, lady, what is really going on? This lady is bananas.
Like, what if somebody had told? We gonna figure out who it is.
She don't care. That lady fool. She don't care. She don't care nothing about that.
That little boy be like, "It's the blonde haired nanny that had me up."
She didn't care nothing about that. That didn't bother her at all. But the thing is, Marlene, she's real outdoorsy. So she does she works she's part-time at a greenhouse, or she volunteers at a greenhouse.
Claire.
Claire, I'm sorry. And she wants to build her own greenhouse at home. So she ends up doing that. But before that, they are at the greenhouse that she volunteers at, Claire, Peyton, and the baby. She's supposed to take something to FedEx for her husband, his proposal for his job. All night long working on it. This heifer
goes in the bathroom,
in the purse, takes it out. I can't find the picture. She takes it out of her purse, takes it out of Claire's purse. Here it is, and tears it up in the bathroom. And she take the plunger and start beating and whacking the mold. I said, "What's
she went ape shit in that bathroom."
I said, "She playing whack-a-mole. This lady is crazy." Kara,
I said, "Wait,
what did you think when you saw this lady in the bathroom losing her mind?" Like,
that was the most unhinged thing I ever seen in my whole entire life. I'm like, it wasn't enough for you to tear this into little pieces. You gonna get the plunger first?
What you say?
Mom, I said it wasn't enough for her to.
No, why you do it? The cuckoo
touched right here. I said, not her going crazy.
The man worked and took the nasty plunger and went to whack-a-mole. I said, this lady is fool. I don't think it was a whack-a-mole.
She was going something. Ham, cheese, and bologna up in that bathroom.
She's crazy.
Yep, Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, she's crazy.
And she was like, went back out there like nothing happened. Like, lady,
straighten her hair up, dust herself off, and try again. That's what she did. Okay, because this lady is she's calculated. She
dust yourself off and try again.
After that, she goes to Michael's office with the baby and says that she said, what about having Claire a birthday party? She's been so tired, she's not feeling like herself, she she's not feeling good. She's overworked or whatever. And it's like, let's just have a party. But don't say I did it, because I know her best friend Marlene. I don't want Marlene to think I'm trying to take over. I said, Michael, don't be stupid. But she don't want Marlene to think she's taking over, but she does want him to throw his wife a birthday party. What are your thoughts on this lady?
She's very calculated. She's very calculating. She's smart. She's crazy, but she's smart. She's putting the pieces together. And she set him up for the okie doke later. So when they was out, I know I'm speeding a little bit. So when they was out setting up the plans, him and Marlene, he's supposed to be someplace else. Then she, run it back to Claire, and she's very smart. She's very smart. She was pissing me off, but that means she was doing her job.
But she does. But before that, Claire has an asthma attack after the FedEx incident, and Peyton sat in the car, watched her, and was smiling. Yep. And it was like, oh, okay. The lady has an asthma attack, and you smiling and laughing at that, like, okay, you're weird. But she's trying to let her husband, like, it disappeared or whatever. You could tell he's pissed. He was like, okay, all right, I got work to do. I said, damn.
Yeah. Well, at least that was his reaction. Because some people would have been like, how did you lose? You said I could have did this myself. Now it just magically disappeared. You know how some folks get. You're not talking to me like that, sir. So I was glad that wasn't his reaction.
Yeah, he was very mild-mannered and easygoing, but he was a little too easy. Not too easy going on Claire, but he was like, he just didn't. He was oblivious to the BS. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because that man be at work, child. He said, I'm at home.
Wanted to be oblivious, but he was oblivious to a lot of stuff. But Solomon.
I'm sure that's most husbands, though.
I mean, not Claire. Solomon catches Peyton breastfeeding Joey again. He falls down the ladder. He goes down the ladder, and he, is shocked. So Claire pulls up on. Is her name Claire? Peyton. I don't know why I keep calling her Claire. Clayton pulls up on him and says, my story is going to be better than yours. I can't find it. My story is going to be better than yours, and you better, get in line or whatever. And he was like, after she walked off, she slapped him too. She slapped him.
Yes, she did.
This lady's crazy. Like this, and she asked him, "Are you a R? Are you
a R?"
Call
him out his name.
Said, oh God, really, Peyton? You are disgusting. But when she walked off, he said, "Don't bother my family, my friends. Those are my friends." I said, "Oh God." And after watching it as an adult, I'm like, damn, I wish he would be the type to strike. I don't know.
Candy.
But because she
wrong road, Candy. Wrong road.
She need to be punched in the back of the head.
He came in when he needed to come in.
Listen, yes. Peyton was an assassin. She's always 5 steps ahead. Yes, she very much so. Hey, Lemon Kush, thank you for coming through. Thank you.
Yeah, she did just have the baby, but still, I mean,
thank you. Yeah. Yeah, he knew she had a lot going on, trying to do the greenhouse and everything. But Solomon they really cared about Solomon, because early on in the episode, the little girl was like, "Solomon, is there anything you would like?" And she was talking about a drink or whatever. He was like,
right.
Bike. And they ended up getting him a brand new bike with the basket on it. And then the little girl
that sounds cool. Like, ain't nobody asked me about no bike, but all right.
Listen, okay. We went from, they meant a drink. She meant liquid.
Beverage.
We want milk, water, H2O.
Little lemonade, something
feeling parched. But they bought him a new bike, and I'm like, oh, that was so sweet that they bought him a bike, because he deserved the new bike. And I was like,
especially since how at the beginning how they like met, because he was knocking on the door and nobody heard him, and then she dropped that glass and was like, Michael.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and is a black man too.
Big black man, okay.
But then she was like, oh, from the happy days, happy ways, because they were saying it the wrong way the whole time. The baby kept correcting them. It's happy such and such. But then
Better,
they were
better
nice and they
way,
did
better
right.
days, better ways,
Yeah, I always confused which
better
was
days of life.
the
Yeah,
wrong
better
one.
with society.
But I was happy with how they handled him because I was a little concerned at first. But we was good
Yeah,
until Peyton got her
child.
funky behind involved.
So she is, of course, sowing doubt between Claire and her and Michael. She's bonding with Emma because now she's the fun person that Emma is around.
Mm-hmm.
They get to keep secrets. You take up for me. We get to watch these movies and things like that. So she's like the fun person to be around. And
Mm-hmm.
she asked her, was like, if something happened to my mom, will you take care of me? Yes, I'll take care of you, your
Daddy.
brother, and your daddy. I said, girl, no, you didn't. And you telling this to this child.
Look, she ain't know. That little girl didn't know it.
Raggedy ASS gonna tell Claire, I think Solomon is handling Emma inappropriately. Something looks off. I'm not sure what it is. So he is putting seeds of doubt in everybody. Emma, Claire, and Michael. She's doing that with everybody. She can't mess with Solomon. Can't do but so much.
She covered her bases.
But Marlene peeped game too from Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because Marlene was like, "Don't." It's the hand that rocks the cradle. Is the hand that rules the world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they was all peeping game except for the two people in the house. And this lady's living in y'all house, okay? Basement or not, I don't care. She was living in y'all house. And y'all gave her access. And she really took over that family. Little by little, she took over that family.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have moved you in, child. We'd have to have some banker's hours or something, child.
Okay, because like I
you
don't
go
know
home to your house.
that.
You can't stay here. We're not doing au pair. You go stay at your house and come back in the morning.
Yep. So she ends up going and asking Claire if that the baby's monitor has clunked out. Do you have some more batteries? And she was like, yeah, we think Solomon has some in his car. She was like, yeah, I'll go look because he has everything in that car. Why Solomon? I ain't gonna say Solomon. Why Peyton put the little girl panties?
Yep, because she was in there with the laundry. You know she put them in there.
Talk about it.
When she went and found those baby's underwear. I was so like when I watched it again, because when I watched it before, I wasn't no parent, but to watch it again, like that's such an awful thing to do to a mom, especially watching it from this end and knowing it's not true. But how would she know it's not true? Now you thinking you're keeping an eye on your child, you're doing something nice by having this man work here, you're treating him kindly, everything seems like it's going okay, and it. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is, but like that's your baby. I said, "Oh my God!" I was so annoyed when I watched it again. I was like, "I would have rather her frame him for like stealing." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some money or something like that, because that's something you can kind of get over. But like, how you go back from that? I mean, I'm glad we figured it all out in the interim, but I was like, of all the things to frame him for.
Yeah, because she knew it had to be something to get him out of there. Like he had to go, and that's the only thing that she knew would get him out of there. Like you got to get out of here because you peep game. You didn't see me feeding this baby. I know you know because when I first met you, and he put paint or something on her hand, she's like, "People up, oh it's okay, we make mistakes." Girl, that man, yeah, you want to call him the R word, but he was, he was just a little delayed. That's it.
Right.
Because he saw all through your BS.
All figured out though. He had it all figured out. He was like,
that really made Emma really sad that he had to go. But I was glad Michael gave him his bike. I thought Michael was gonna take the bike from him. That's how it looked. But he gave him his bike, and Claire has to sit and talk to Emma. But Emma's not really opening up to Claire. She goes right past Claire and goes to Peyton.
They should have took that. I mean, maybe they did, and it just didn't show us in the movie. They should have been taking that baby to a therapist and a doctor, to be examined and to have a therapist to actually talk to her, But it looked like mom just talked to her, and that was it. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
And then she was talking to Peyton in the bed about why they took Solomon away, and she was like, "Well, your mom really didn't like Solomon." Sowing seeds of doubt in this baby, like making Emma not like her mom. Like you're really making it easy for this little girl to separate from her mom and be closer to you. This lady was diabolical. She was crazy. She was bananas. She was relentless on the things that she was doing, because later on we see Claire and Peyton at the greenhouse that they built on their property, and she's winding up the things that she's talking to about everything about the glass going up and it lets the air in, and so she sees how things are working in there. She goes and Marlene. Okay, wait. Marlene. I don't know what triggered Marlene to do this, but Marlene has started doing her research, and she figured out that Peyton is Dr. Mott's wife, and that she took herself out. She was pregnant with the child or whatever. She's not who she said she is, because she said she was Peyton Flanders or something like that. I can't remember what her last name was.
I don't remember either.
It wasn't real.
It was that the wind chime.
Yeah.
Because remember, she's like, oh, after she's at the house, she's like, oh, what is that? And she was like, it's a wind. She's like, Peyton gave it to her. She was like, oh, okay. And then when she was looking at the listings, she saw the wind. She got the magnifying glass and she saw the wind chime. Same wind chime hanging on that man's house. That's when she went over there and started doing her little microfiche at the library. So what in the?
And yeah, she gonna tell this to Michael that things start happening once Peyton got there, but you ain't do nothing about it.
Well, she was in her defense, because like I said, I just rewatched it so I could get the events of things clearly. Right as Marlene was like figuring everything out before she could go tell her, she had said to Michael stuff was going on and she wanted to take a trip without Peyton, and she would talk about things while she wasn't there, but Peyton was listening on a little nanny thing. So yeah,
she did.
I mean, what you gonna do when a lady's in your house and she ear hustling? So yeah, no, she didn't do no investigation, because right after that was when all of this happened. So
but then remember, she took the lighter out of Marlene's purse. Peyton did, and she put it in Michael's jacket. Yeah. So when she takes it to the cleaners, okay, it looks like Marlene and Michael are messing around or whatever, because Michael ended up saying he was working late, but he and Marlene were planning her birthday
party. That birthday party, yeah.
But all she knows is Michael was dating Marlene at once upon a time, and Peyton got that information from Emma. And she was just sowing seeds of doubt in everybody. And I'm like, this lady.
Because when she blew up at that surprise birthday party, it was like, surprise, girl, hey.
Yeah, it was like, surprise. I thought I had the picture, but I don't have it. Surprise. Yeah, but I don't have that picture. So yeah. Marlene figures everything out. She's calling Peyton to talk to her. Claire to talk to her about it. Peyton answers the phone, and they go through the motions of, well, she's not here. You want me to leave a message? Well, this is Marlene. You want me to spell my name? I said, Marlene and Peyton. But she kind of figures out what's going on, because she realized that she's Dr. Mott's wife. And is this the birthday party? Being worried about that part.
Well, the birthday party was before that.
Okay, yeah, the birthday party was before that. So yes. But what happened after this? Kira?
That's when she raced over. So she raced over to the house because she didn't believe the little heifer. She thought she was there. And she came in and she was like, "Where's Claire, Mrs. Mott?" And she was like, please, don't. Where is she? She's in the greenhouse, because she has rigged that greenhouse for Claire. And Marlene took her behind in there, and that's her watching eating that damn apple.
Off a knife. Fool, okay?
So cut her damn tongue.
Slice it off, okay? Slice it off. So she's sending Marlene out there. Marlene, oh no, don't go out there. She's like, no, don't go out there. Child. Dead to
got
me,
him.
Okay? I said, damn. That was for Claire, not Marlene. This lady is bananas.
Yeah.
2 down, 1 more to go. She got Solomon out the way. She got Marlene out the way. But so Claire is coming home, and of course, she has real bad asthma. No. Let me go back. She is making noise, picking up ice off the floor. Did she put that thing back in the freezer?
She sure did. She sure picked that ice up, put it back in that bin. That's why I was like, Michael ain't gonna say nothing. See you letting all of this. You letting all of this get to you, man. We putting that ice at. Go ahead and pour that in the sink. Just.
But she making all that noise. I say, can we be any louder? Like, really? You ain't got no underwear on, and you ain't got no bra.
And this white flimsy nightgown.
Yeah, she is bananas. So Claire goes home. Claire, of course, we know she's asthmatic, severely asthmatic, and ends up in the hospital because
Peyton had emptied out all her inhalers.
Emptied out all the inhalers. Now, I don't have asthma like that, but baby, when I need I need it, okay? Ain't nothing like not being able to breathe and you can see your throat go in. You can watch it go in because you gasping for air.
And I was like, she don't have one in her pocketbook, and she did, but I realized she dropped the pocketbook when she found Marlene. So she went inside to call the police and said, I'll use one of the inhalers in there. So that's when she passed out when she was going back to that pocketbook. Because I was like, why would you not have one in your pocketbook? But I guess, that wasn't her first thought. I said, oh, baby, no.
I said, you raggedy. Wow. Now,
and I know you could do a little home something for it, but that's if you don't have it that bad. She ain't had no time to whip up a little steam or something. Get a little.
She could do nothing. All she could do was just try to call 911 and talk to them. She tried to find inhalers. She couldn't. She fell out on the porch, and I guess 911 ended up getting her address some kind of way and came to the house. And luckily she was still breathing and still conscious at the time. And now she's in the hospital for a couple of days. And while she's in the hospital,
Peyton does a little redecorating. Is that how she redecorated and put that?
Peyton does some redecorating. Peyton does a lot of things she has no business doing. She's trying to come on to this lady husband.
That is Peyton's way, baby. Okay. I said, not the blue turtles. Not the blue turtles.
Michael is out in the rain trying to close up the crime scene, and he's out there soaking wet because he's heartbroken that his friend has passed away at his house. Died, and it could have been his wife. So he's out there, close, and she go outside in the rain. Then she go come in. You're all wet, and she got a thin nightgown, so all you see is areolas. I say, lady,
because you could have opened that door and said, hey. You ain't have to go out there. Hey.
He tells her there's only one woman for me. Right.
That's all you need.
Yes, that's all you need. I say, dirty biatch. She wakes up early in the morning to do her FS, okay? She wakes up early in the morning to do it, okay?
Gotta get up early in the morning to get the stuff done.
So we have, Claire in the hospital. I thought I had the other picture where she on the floor with them playing games. I'm like, girl, if you don't get up off the floor with my family playing board game, I'm like, Michael, come on, you can't be that dumb, bro. Why? But Claire ends up getting out of the hospital, and she goes back to the house. I'm upset my picture is gone. She goes and finds a note that that they wrote for her at the greenhouse from Marlene. Marlene was like, call me, it's urgent or whatever. So she figured out what Marlene was doing by going to Marlene's office, and she sees pictures of the house. And she goes to the house. She goes upstairs and sees the room is decorated the way Peyton has decorated the son's room in her absence. I said, And she had a
Well,
breast.
now I was gonna say, well, now she in this lady's house seeing the same wallpaper she got at her house now. I said, oh no. Now she had a little extra at the house.
Yeah.
She probably bought some more, but still, I said, that's crazy.
But she comes back to the house. Claire goes back and sees that well, I'm bypassing.
Oh, and that's when she noticed that doggone breast pump in the room too.
Yes, and she was like, she kept her milk up, baby. Claire got that voo.
She put that stuff together quick, baby.
She put the pedal to the metal, honey. Okay, and she was out of there. She was like, oh hell no. She came home. She saw Michael. She was like, Michael, we need to. And she saw Peyton. She put the fluff was on Peyton. She knocked Peyton dead in her nose. Knocked her across the table, and she was bleeding. I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, this is what we finna do. We putting a pause on these hoes because what you not finna do is take over my family. You done took out my friend. You done got Solomon away from us. You done done all these things.
It's like, let me just go downstairs and get my things. No, bitch, you gotta go now.
Yeah, no. Bye.
We'll send your things.
Get out. Skedaddle. Good riddance. Yeah, no, we not playing games with you like that. No.
The baby said, where's Peyton going? No. Peyton gotta.
Yeah, Peyton gotta go.
Out of here.
So all these seeds of doubt in this little girl head, and she don't even know what to do because she's a kid. She's a baby. She don't know. Said Michael dumb and staring like Santa Claus. Oh, when he was looking at Peyton. Yes. Hey Shayna, thank you for coming through. Yes, child.
Your eyes, nose, making a face. What is going on?
Okay. Listen. But I'm so glad she did, follow the breadcrumbs that Marlene did leave for her because that was that might have been the only way she was able to come out of this. But the whole time they were out, the things were going on. Solomon was peeping in the shadows.
Yep.
He was at the hospital. He was standing in the rain at the hospital. When she got out the hospital, he was there. I'm like, Solomon, you are
God sent
with me.
That little baby looking at him out. Emma was looking at him out the back window too. Like she ain't saying nothing. Peyton had her keeping secret.
Turn around, Emma. Turn around. Emma was like, I see my homeboy back there.
Peyton had her keeping secrets, so she ain't tell. But I mean, I guess it was good.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, when she comes to the house, Peyton is leaving, and then all of a sudden, no, she's saying she rigged the greenhouse. She probably rigged it for me. He was like, no, don't say that. She was like, yes. And something else she did. He was like, okay, let's go to the hotel tonight. And I'm like, ain't this daylight? Why are they still at the house in this dark time? As a kid say, why is dark time now? That didn't seem strange to you that they were still at the house in the dark time? Like the children say, in the dark time. It was dark.
They weren't caring because they had called the police, and the police had basically said they couldn't do nothing. So it was like, how long did you sit and wait after she left? Well, left because she had just snuck back in downstairs. Her downstairs.
Yep. So she ends up, Michael ends up hearing something, hears music or whatever, and it's the music that Peyton plays is down in the basement. And he goes and listens and try to figure out what's going on. Child, she didn't come around with a shovel and then knock Michael down the stairs.
I wouldn't have gone down
over
there.
The banister.
Let me put something up against that basement door, get my stuff, and get the heck out of here. Call the police when we get to the hotel. Somebody at the house.
Yes, because we not gonna be sitting here doing all this lady.
We don't even got a pack. Let's just go. We don't need clothes. Let's take the babies and get in the car, go to the hotel. He took his behind down there to get whacked and fell off over that top rail. His legs is broke.
Yep, his legs were broken. He couldn't go, and then next thing you know, here comes, she's trying to call 911, call EMS or whoever, law enforcement to come help her. And she turns around and here comes Peyton with another I said, damn, Peyton, you just walk around with shovels. But
anybody that eat an apple with a knife or walk around with a shovel.
Okay. Hi ho, hi ho, off to work we go.
Child.
So, I'm trying to find my other notes, child. Oh, so Emma is told to stay in the room. She locks the door from the inside, and she has the key. Mama says, "Don't come out, until you hear my voice or whatever." The little girl
Listen.
did not listen, but we did not know Solomon was lurking in the shadows, ready to save the day. And Emma,
she got lucky because when she was peeking out that room, she had
mm-hmm.
initially stopped her mama from getting hit in the head, but she got hit in the head anyway.
Yeah. But Emma ended up taking the baby out and taking him up in another room. Yeah, and they hid, and she was like, "Be quiet, don't." She was trying to keep the baby quiet or whatnot. And I was like, "Okay, Emma, you have learned something." I don't know. I guess she was a little grown, not grown, but she was really paying attention because she knew how to take care of her brother a little bit or whatever. She was trying to keep him quiet, and because she knew that she had to hide from this lady because this lady is crazy. But Solomon is upstairs. They tricked her with the
monitor,
with the little walkie-talkie thingies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they tricked her with that because she thought they were in the room, but they were upstairs in the attic. But she goes and she tries to take the baby from Solomon. Claire comes up and she fakes a asthma attack, which allows Peyton to leave her alone because Peyton knows how she is when she has an asthma attack. Like, oh, you good?
I don't gotta hit you with the shovel, boo. You about to pass out. I even got clock you with this shovel. You about to pass out, girl.
She they get up there, they get the tussling, child. They're tussling over well, she's beating Solomon with what she's beating Solomon with? With the
poker from the fireplace.
Fire poker, yeah. Mm-hmm. She was beating him with the fire poker, and he took it or whatever because he was like, he really didn't want to hit the lady back, but
protecting that baby too. He was like,
yeah, he was protecting the baby. He was protecting Emma because Emma was outside on the ledge.
Yep.
And I just appreciated the fact that he felt comfortable enough to come back because he knew he had done nothing wrong. And
he probably didn't even understand what happened.
Right. And I appreciate him coming back to save the family because he knew Peyton wouldn't get no itch from hello. He felt the evil spirit. He got discernment. Yep. He might not be able to explain it and communicate it effectively, but he felt that lady was off, and I'm glad he, had sense enough to come back and save the family because it did save him because I think Peyton would have killed them had Solomon not been there because his dad was downstairs with broke legs.
Yep. Claire's ass would have been out of there. She'd have ran up into the sunset with them babies.
Mm-hmm. But he took care of the baby. And the mom was Claire was like, you can hold him. He's like, no, I'm not supposed to hold the baby. She's like, you can hold him. And Emma said, come on, Solomon. They end up going downstairs to get Michael because he child.
I think my legs are broken. What?
Michael, bye.
Drag your damn legs and let's go. Use your upper body.
Slowly. She really did because she saw her having an asthma attack. She was like, oh, you can't do enough to save your family. I said this.
She had that smile on her face, baby.
But Emma knew, after her mom looked at her, she was like, okay, mama playing. But
she's like, oh, Lord, thank you, Jesus.
Okay, I was like, Lord, please. And I forgot the lady was tricking Peyton about the asthma attack. Because I was like, oh, God, she's going to have an asthma attack. Because it's been a minute since I saw it. I was glad she was faking because I'm like, you again. You just got to the hospital this morning.
Listen, she lucky she could fake it, okay?
Okay.
Fake it and mess around and have a real one. Talking about something. Okay. Be easy, girl. Be easy.
Laughing is kitchen, and sister girl would have been out of here for real if she was, faking, because she probably would have ended up having one for real. So they end up leaving out. Of course, Peyton ends up going out the window, over the ledge, and fell on the fence, and she's dead. She's unalived. And that's the end of that.
Bye, Peyton. I know that man was thinking, not after I done fixed this fence up here.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
Solomon was like, not after I done fixed this fence.
Okay. This is the fence I fixed, and y'all don't tear it up. But
Mm-hmm.
I was glad that, you know, like I said, Solomon was comfortable enough to come back to help the family. Because he knew that lady was crazy. He knew she was
Mm-hmm.
evil. He knew she was evil. Um,
I ain't seeing Rebecca De Mornay. I was trying to look and see what else she had been in recently. I ain't seen Rebecca De Mornay in years.
I just hate that they were oblivious to the BS, because Claire ended up liking Peyton because she was helpful with the family, with the kid, with
Right.
the children, and
Mama was
it was
tired.
taking
And
Mama was
Michael was
tired,
working. Okay.
and it took a lot of weight off her shoulders. Like, she had help, and it was like, yeah, this lady came and took over your family. She done took out Solomon. She done got rid of one. She done took out Marlene.
Mm-hmm. Poor
Ma'am.
Marlene, because at least Solomon made a comeback and saved everybody. Marlene was a goner, baby. Never to return again.
Yep. But I was
See, that's when a cell phone, that's what the part I was talking about. A cell phone would have been effective because she could have just called her on her cell phone instead of rushing her ass over to that house.
But
we
she
didn't
did
have those back in the day, huh?
Marlene did. Well, Claire didn't have a phone. Marlene had a phone.
Oh,
Marlene
she sure
was called
did.
car, wasn't she?
She called from the car. She did call from the car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Claire
but
didn't have a
Claire
phone.
didn't have no cell phone. That would have been useful.
She got 2 keys. That'd have been me. You said that would have been me?
No, I said that would have been helpful.
Oh, I thought you said that would have been you. Like, what?
No, I said that would have been helpful. She had a phone, but
it's ironic that Solomon's fence is where Peyton met her. Okay, because you try to play me. You know, I hate you knock my fence over, but goody gun drops.
Deuces, Peyton
is like peace out. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Peyton Flanders, Mrs. Mott, the antagonist?
She was a good villain. She was an excellent villain. Like I said, I couldn't understand all her animosity towards her as opposed to some of the other women, but maybe she was the only one who recently had a baby. I don't really know. They didn't tell us all of that. I do too much sometimes thinking like, oh, why her? But she had a plan and she stuck to it. She wasn't supposed to be in that house, but she went over there and got that pump and got the pumping.
Listen, she kept her breast milk up. Like, she just kept it up. And then when she got there, because it was 6 months later that the lady had the baby, that she was there. So she kept pumping all this time. Because really? It was 6 months. So you was pumping for 6 whole months?
Then I was wondering, like, was there a family in between it? Yeah, you know, my brain be going sometimes, child. They didn't even told us all that in the movie. Just plotting and planning for 6 months. I mean, that is traumatic, though. You know what I'm saying? Your husband's a creep. He take the easy way out, and then you lose your baby, and now you can't have no more babies. It's not like you're like, oh, I just find another hard husband and start again. Not with your womb, you won't.
And then you made Claire feel for you, because she was like, yeah, I lost my child and my husband within days of each other or something. So you playing on this lady heartstrings, because you know you're telling
not
her
knowing that you blame her for it.
Yeah, you lost your husband, and then she'll say he was murdered, and
by himself.
I'm like, you probably would have eventually done that, because I could see you doing some stupid shit.
She's like, they never found out who did it. And that's when it was after she was talking about karma and stuff.
No, being around the baby stimulated her milk glands. But it was 6
She had
months.
the pump back at the house, though.
But the baby was 6 months old when she got there. The baby was 6 months old when she got there. So she was already pumping, still keeping her milk, regulated, still available. I don't know how she thought she was going to go. I guess because she knew that the lady
even if she didn't pump the whole time and the baby did stimulate her glands, she still went back to the house and used that pump. That's my belief. She's using that pump somehow, some way for that milk, child. Because she was only feeding him at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
At night. When Claire wasn't there, it was at night and daytime she was feeding him.
Oh yeah, because Solomon did catch her during the day. But initially we only saw her at night, so I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then
she did it immediately at nighttime at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, her alarm went off and she got her ass up and went and fed. I said, I
You
know
had a
it's
plan, child. My brain don't even be thinking
okay.
all
I'm
them
not waking
thoughts.
up to do nothing evil, okay? I'm too
She
lazy
said,
to do evil.
yeah,
Yeah, let me
pitter
roll back
patter, pitter
over.
pitter 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 patter.
Yeah, like she works overtime. She got up early in the morning to set the greenhouse up. Like
Mm-hmm.
she get up with the chickens, okay? Like
Early
no
bird,
ma'am.
early bird, get the worm.
Yeah, like no, yeah. Mm-mm.
Oh no.
Yeah. Claire was a little too trusting for me. You know, she started off trusting her from the beginning. Like
Mm-hmm.
you let this lady up the stairs from day one from LO. And you had her over at dinner the same night, and then you moved her in your house the next
Because
week.
she just really should have been responsible for the kids, not everything else that was going on in the
This lady was
household.
cooking, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
She running errands with you because why we all got to go to the greenhouse and to the FedEx.
Yeah.
Either stay at the house and watch the kids or I don't know, take a day off. Something like yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
got to run errands with me too.
Yep.
She was more like a personal assistant /
Mm-hmm.
au pair / she was just too much.
She was a bodyguard.
Okay.
Yeah. All of it, all the things that she had no business being.
She
Yeah.
was definitely naive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Weekend. I don't know. I'll give her definitely naive. That lady
Mm-hmm.
was. That lady. I told you that lady was tired with that baby.
She was tired.
And Emma
Okay.
was over there always talking, always knowing something, and then the baby's crying.
Yeah, but I just hate the way she planted seeds of doubt with Emma and her mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like she just immediately made this little girl her friend. Like
Oh, I was gonna say Michael
like
tried to tell her she ain't need nobody. Like you got it down pat. It's like this ain't the first one. It's all right. It's gonna be
mm-hmm.
okay. And she was
Yeah.
like, no. I think not. Somebody come get this baby.
Okay, come get this child. Nah, okay.
Come get her.
Yeah, she, had the little girl was like, yeah, mommy didn't do anything about it. But so she gonna go do something and snatch the little boy up. Okay. Don't tell anybody. It's our secret. Okay.
No, I'm not.
Another
But about the
secret.
rest of the people, crazy lady,
Right.
can't
She
just be
just
snatching up somebody's kid.
yeah,
We
it
be
was a lot
tempted.
going on.
Can't do it. Can't do it, lady.
Cuckoo cuckoo. So, yeah, that's that on that. Any other thoughts, Miss Kira?
No. I was glad she went through that fence, and it wasn't the day and age of we gonna get a part 2 because I could I enough.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm glad we
yeah.
put her to rest, and it was a one and done, and we moved on with life.
Mm-hmm. One and done, over with. Capiche, capash, capoosh. Mm-hmm. That's that on that. So, that's it for tonight, Twisted Tuesday with Candy Love and the crew. Thank you, Miss Kira, for joining me for 1992, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. This is like one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite movies. I had a
Yep, you hitting the thumbs because you're on your phone. It's iPad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is like one of my favorite movies. I can watch this movie over and over again. I always see something different, or figure, see something different or another angle or something I missed. This is just one of my.
And I was gonna say we're older now. We have an older perspective, a parental perspective, and you're like, oh no.
Did y'all hear a little boy say that was so cool? That was your baby?
I don't think you're talking about when he was twisting that boy's arm up like a pretzel.
Oh no, I ain't hear that part.
on the playground. That was so cool.
No, I didn't hear that part. That's crazy. No.
Yeah, because he was over there bullying the rest of them. He was over there bullying the rest of them kids when she grabbed him up. Like, I was like, oh.
Thank you, ma'am. Hopefully, if I can get my MacBook right, I'll have my slides. But I didn't want to have nobody producing my show for the third time. I didn't want to do that. So I was like, I'm going to figure out a way to get these pictures up here.
We would have still been up here struggling. I'd have been like, what now? Pressing buttons.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do that. But thank you for coming, Miss Kira. What you got going on your channel?
Life is life, and baby. So what did we do? We did Never Ever Mets last night. episode 9 and 10. So go ahead and check that out. Tomorrow we got Roja. Come join us for that. And then maybe I'll get my act together, this weekend.
You've been outside.
I've been half outside, half inside.
Oh, as for me in my house, so yes, we did the never ever shoulda met yesterday, like Miss Kira said. We went in on those people a little bit.
As we should. Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be worse for next week, okay? Because it's the
reunion. For that reunion, baby. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so please tune in for that next Monday at 8:30-ish Eastern Standard Time. Next Tuesday, guys, we will be back for another Twisted Tuesday, and that's for a Fatal Attraction, okay? Got it, Miss Kira. Fatal Attraction on the 24th, on July 1st.
I wasn't going to try to remember.
Single white female. On July the 8th, I'm going to do an eye for an eye. So yes, that's the next lineup, guys. 24th, Fatal Attraction, single white female on July the 1st, and an eye for an eye on July the 8th. So yeah, and then tomorrow we have Roja.
And the oil and the black oil.
Listen, we have that.
Got me want to go to Grenada
at 8:30, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And on Thursday, I will be EJ and the gang. We'll be talking about the Divorced Sisters on BET Plus episode
3.
Yes, so that's what I got going on for the rest of the week, guys. Please check back on the replay gang. Let us know you came by. In the replay, put in a crazy emoji or something. I don't know.
A little apple.
An apple.
Right, slice.
Yes, apple, a knife, a pretzel, because it's twisted, or a tornado or something. Yeah, and put some suggestions in there. What y'all want us to talk about next? We got a little lineup right.
Somebody put one in there. I forgot what it was.
I think it was P. Brunson. She
I know,
added
I'm going
something
back
in
up.
there. Single white female. I think I said that we're doing that on the 8th, I think.
I thought it was another one.
She put single white female. So we're doing single white.
Indecent proposal.
Indecent. Oh, okay. I've never seen that, so I'm gonna have to watch that one.
Yeah, you gotta watch that one.
Yes. And thank everybody for coming through. We're gonna get up out this thing. If nothing else, guys, we're gonna have y'all have a good night, okay?